Beautiful. We are excited. We have a lot of alcohol and we have soju here
There we go.
ready to go. So, if anyone answers wrong, we make them take a shot of soju.
Wrong. Yeah, we're gonna pop quiz.
All right, hell yeah. Do you guys have any questions before we get started?
No,
Nah.
yeah, we can just jump into it.
All right, cool. Well, my only question for the three of you before we fully start is I normally do an opening crack to start the episodes. Does anyone have an unopened beverage they'd like to participate in the opening crack with?
Oh shit!
Oh, we jumped the gun.
That's okay. I've also been drinking, so I always double fist to start. So it's up to you guys.
We grab one more.
Uh,
Will you finish that one during this? You think, or
yeah, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I'll get one for Charlie. He's our resident big gulper.
Big. I don't.
That's your new name on Twitter.
All right. So what I'll do here is I'll count us down. We'll crack these. I'll do the little intro, bring the three of you in, and we'll just have a good time.
That's good. All right.
Sick. All right. In three, two, one. Welcome to the Beers with Bands podcast with your host, Michael Torres. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beers with Bands. Very stoked on this episode. This one's been, I don't want to say a long time, but it's been a time in the making, and I'm very stoked to finally get this one on the docket and into the airwaves. But I'm sitting down with 10 Month Summer tonight. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing great.
We are so stoked.
Dude, I'm very stoked as well. I've been jamming everything today. I know we're the time of this recording, we're leading up to the release of EP2, which is crazy in such a good way. And then I know you guys have your album release show next week, which is also set to be super killer and such a solid lineup that I'm stoked to chat all about.
Yeah.
For people that might not be aware of 10 Month Summer, one, what are you doing? Two, they are lakeshore emo, a little bit of shoegaze, a little bit of spoken word, a little bit of good times all around, based out of Chicago. Can you kind of go around real quick and say who you are and what you do in 10 Month Summer?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Sam. I play, I guess, lead guitar. We kind of switch off.
True.
I'm Charlie. I play mostly rhythm, but yeah, we do some dueling leads at times or just intricate stuff.
And I'm Nish. I sing and I write most of the words. And not here today is Luke, our drummer, and Scumdrop, our bassist, who also provides backing vocals and sometimes writes a couple lines as well.
Hell yeah. Well, since they can't be here with us today, this is where we pour one out in their honor. By pour one out, I just mean we have a drink in their honor.
Luke was very ready to be here, and then some unfortunate tummy issues took him down.
Yeah.
And Scumdrop lives in St. Louis now, so they just couldn't make the 6 hour drive today.
That is fair. Well, we'll do another one of these at some point, and then we'll get both of them back on, and we'll have some beers with them as well. I know we're going to be mainly talking about EP2 in this episode, but for people that haven't checked out the discography as well, there's also the debut EP, Fault Lines, and then the amazing three-way split, Chicago Handshake, which came out in December, that everyone should be checking out as well.
Yes.
Which I know that's what originally I think when we first started chatting around when that was coming out, and I gotta say, like, the name of using Chicago Handshake for that split is fucking amazing. Every time I talk to Chicago band, I try not to bring it up every time, but we always get around to Malort, do the Chicago Handshake. So to see that like in actual like just title form, I thought was great that you guys did that.
Thank you.
Who
Yeah.
came up with that? Who was the?
I thought it was you.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
My original idea was to have like the bands cover each other as like Chicago Handshakes, but then like we like that idea just like the bands I want to do that with, they're all very busy, and we had like a single coming out that we had been writing, and it was different from what we were doing, and so just tapped these two other bands. Felicia came from Sam, like a rec from him, and they were just like writing this heavy screamo shit, and then background character just kind of does whatever the fuck they want, which is like what makes them so amazing. And they like I will say that they're probably one of the most like electric live sets you can watch in Chicago. And so Just evoking and invoking old style Malort felt right with these two in addition to ourselves. So yeah.
Now, how like obviously everyone has different I don't know, I can't think of the right word, but everyone has different levels of Malort that they can actually handle. Like myself, I'm probably, if I can manage to do one, I'm a one and done. Granted, I don't have it that often. I know it's here in the Twin Cities, but I've avoided it since 2019. I'm still going strong. How often are you guys having Malort in your normal day to day lives?
And whenever I get the chance.
Yeah. But I would say weekly for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that because I'm not an
we're-
alcoholic.
We're all probably pretty close to Malort enjoyers.
Yeah.
That's I know most people come in and they're like, "Oh, do you want to make your friend feel terrible? Like who's visiting? Buy him a Malort shot." We're like, "I'll do a Chicago handshake with friends at a show because we
Yeah.
want to enjoy it." Like it's
Right.
We'll enable it because like a lot of people like want their friends to do it, but they don't want to do it themselves. So we'll be like the catalyst, like, all right, we'll do the Malort shot if your friend will do the Malort shot, and that's how we get them indoctrinated to suffering. And so we're pretty gung ho about that.
It's like the only liquor I ever want. It's a liqueur, but
Yeah.
that's it. It's like I don't do shots ever.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
true.
the only thing I'll do a shot of.
It's really smooth. Like it
the
tastes like
barrel
shit,
aged
but-
shit. It loops.
The barrel aged Malort is nice.
Yeah,
If you haven't,
barrel
what
aged
we'll do
Malort.
is when we make our Minnesota debut, we'll bring you some. We'll bring you some of the
Okay.
good.
Hell yeah.
that's yeah.
It's like the fancy malt. I don't know, $10 more a bottle. Who knows?
Where I get my hair cut at, my barbers are very big into Malort, so they always have a bottle on hand. And every once in a while, they'll be like, it's like 5 o'clock. You guys want to do Malort shot?" And I'm like, "Man, I got my Miller Lite. I'm good right now. Like, I'll just deal with this."
I love that. I mean, it's not for everyone, of course, but I think like you do like get a tolerance to it. There's also good and bad Malort. There's like batches that like are fine, and then there's batches where like even us seasoned, masochists are like, this is disgusting.
I speak for yourself.
You like all of them? I mean, I don't know. I think there's some good ones.
If you have enough Malort, it all kind of tastes the same.
Also
So
true.
it's-
Also true.
Yeah. They get really into it. They're like, "Oh, there's hints of like grapefruit," and like they're breaking it down. And I'm just like, granted, like I said, I haven't had it since at least 2019, so like I can't remember what was there. I just remember I had it at like 11 o'clock at night after a day full of beers, so it still didn't taste good then, and I can't imagine it tasting good without all those beers. But we'll see if it happens again. If you guys come to Minneapolis, I will for sure have a Malort shot with you because I think it needs to happen.
That so aggressively, so hope you don't regret those words.
But also going kind of off what you said too is like, Every Day Feels Like 9/12 was definitely a little bit of a shift, for people that had listened to Fault Lines. I know that we obviously live in a crazy world right now, and I can understand where a lot of the emotion and stuff is coming from in that song and what's going on, especially leading into some of these songs on the new EP. But like, what sparked the internal idea to be like, hey, let's just take a left turn here and do this song to kind of get this out there?
I mean, go Sam. Yeah.
I remember just like, I think this was probably a couple of months after October 7th. I think 2023 is when that October 7th happened.
Yeah, I think we started, and then you came
And
in like early
maybe like
2024.
yeah, like 4 or 5 months or so after that, like 4 or 5 months or so into the genocide in Palestine, and just being like very frustrated and angry that like our taxpayer dollars are going to killing children, and that as like individuals there's really like you feel very powerless, and like it's just like an incredibly like depressing feeling and like overpowering feeling. It causes a lot of anger whenever you look at the effects of US empire like across the world. And so it was something I was having those feelings about. I know Nish had been outspoken on Palestine and stuff, but as long as I've known him, and so I had like been getting into screamo a lot more and like listening to bands like Crowning and Frail Body and stuff like that. And so I started messing around and trying to write write screamo riffs that were like more minor key,
Yeah.
dark feeling. And so I brought some of that to him. I was like, hey, this is what I want this song to be about.
Yeah.
And Nish kind of, I was like, I feel like you have like a good point of view to write from. And so Nish kind of took it and put his own personal experiences, like growing up in a Muslim family, and how hostile America can be towards that.
Yeah. And it was, like for as like harrowing as it can feel to be on like this end of just watching it happen, like we also recognize that like to be the people going through the suffering is just like just magnitudes levels worse. And so, being in a band is like a joy and a privilege. And with that privilege, I think we have to use it for, speaking up for these voiceless people. And I think around when Sam was asking about this and we were trying to like pen it down to, as a young Palestinian boy in Illinois who was stabbed multiple dozens of times by a crazed like landlord. And I just think about him a lot when we were writing this, and I still think about him now when we like play the song. Like his name was Wadea, and he's just like a kid. And it was just sad that like 9/11 happened when I was like 9 years old, and or no, I was 7. And like as a 7-year-old kid, I watched like the world just like hate me for no good reason. And as a kid, you don't understand why. And so it felt pretty fucked that like 25 years later, you're still seeing it happen to other kids and here and overseas. And so that song felt very pertinent to like write. And it took us a long time to get it out because we were a bit slow on the rip on that. But I think it like feeds really well into some of the tracks we have on EP2 as well. Just like expanding our scope out from like Faye Lines was a very just like yearning, lovey-dovey EP about my fiance, and here we have some of that on EP2, but there's definitely a wider scope and a wider lens we want to take on like society and community as a whole. And so that even though sonically EP2 is more in line with EP1, this split we did felt like a nice place to like kind of control some of that rage and like put a message out there, and hopefully it can still hit what it needs to, and we can still do good with it in the ways we can in our limited faculties.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a very solid single. Listening back to it's also part of the spoken word portion, but it reminds me a lot of like I would almost say, if hopefully you take this the right way, I feel like this is your guys' like King Park.
Yeah, no, for sure.
For what you guys are doing, and yeah, it is sonically different than EP1, but it's nice when one to get that out, but also it's nice as like a listener when a band can take that time to be like, hey, we have some shit to say, and like just let it come out how they feel like it needs to come out. Whether it's sonically the same, like obviously we've seen Benequad kind of do kind of their thing with when they're deviating from EP to EP, and seeing bands not stay consistent with their sound and kind of changed up, especially, it's 2026. We don't need to be listening to the same stuff all the time. It's really sick to see that change and that deeper emotion come out.
For sure.
Yeah, and that Ben Quad, like you're part of it, that song, which I know wasn't on their like Screamo EP, but you're part of it, was definitely a song that like kind of was a gateway to that kind of Screamo-y stuff. And then I know like Short Fictions, kind of a little before that, also put out a little Screamo EP that was really good. And so I thought it was cool that a lot of bands, a lot of emo bands had done. I mean, Home Is Where already has kind of a lot of screamo elements in their stuff.
Absolutely.
But then they also did a little split with Record Setter from Denton a while back as well, and like really leaned into the screamo kind of thing. So I've always liked it when emo bands go heavier, and I wanted to do that on our end too.
I know we're here to talk about EP2, but with how 9/12 came out, I'm very much looking forward to seeing like what this other side of 10 Month Summer might produce in the future, if we see that like in a full EP format or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's whispers of maybe a double single that like is going to take a bit more of that on maybe by the end of the year. We'll see. Again, all our timelines are very very loose, and so what we say now might not be true by the end of the year. But if we're on the plan they're trying to set, I think you're going to get some of that good stuff.
I feel like we
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of wait all over the place a bit too. Like we're feeling like we need to be in one specific lane. Sometimes, if Sam comes in with a heavy riff, we're gonna write a heavy song. Like if we're
Mhm.
or there's times where I am trying to write some spacey, slow thing, and Luke looks at me and goes, play that, take off all the reverb and speed it up. And it's like now it's almost like a not a slam song, but we're like it just completely becomes something different than what we had intended, just because that's what sounds cool and sounds right for us. So,
Yeah.
I know that like when you look at EP1 and EP2, there are thematic themes musically and lyrically going through it, but like that might just be the songs that work together and not the total scope of what we sound like always. So
Yeah.
if you can see a live show, it'll be sometimes all over the place, depending on who we're playing with. We could vary it up.
Yeah. We like to especially for the like the Tenmo unreleased discography is like 25, 30 songs deep.
That's crazy.
But we can play like an indie pop show and have a set list for that, but we could also hang a little bit with like the hard. I mean, we're not like a screamo band through and through, but like we won't be out of place. I think we're not afraid to play with heavier bands by any means. Like our release show has a band called like Yeah Bye that's like a hardcore band, like straight up, and we're stoked for that. Yeah, we'll take on any genre, I guess, because we just can. I guess, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah.
You've earned a
Oh.
soju shot.
Oh, there you go.
Yay.
We're gonna take a shot while you ask us your next question.
All right, hell yeah. With y'all saying that EP2, which is named Your Name Is My Ocean, feels thematically the same, kind of with EP1. Do you feel like that's because a lot of these songs are probably written around the same time? Because for people that might not be aware, what is it? Broken Fist, Tomar, and I think Alex's song have all been kind of around in some iteration since at least 2024.
Yeah, so is Holstein too. I mean, a good chunk of the EP is existed on Live at G-Man. Like again, we're just much faster at writing songs than recording them. But they've evolved definitely from that, and you can hear some of the differences in the studio version versus the live version. But I think they're pretty close. A good couple of them, just because I write the words and I'm like hopelessly devoted and obsessed with my fiance, and I think that like that's really important. I think also the community that we've built as a band is like really important. So you're gonna see that pop up a lot too, even in as we're writing LP1 right now, and like that's gonna show up a lot. But I think though, like as we've grown as a band too, we're gonna look at the stories I think that are a little bit more inward. Like there's a couple songs we have that I'm at least lyrically wise like are talking about like our experiences as us five people as a unit trying to like make it through this like insane world, both as people, as a band, as musicians, as artists, etc. And so it'll be fun to explore some of those stories as well and give some insight into like what it's like to be like on the road or just like I don't know, playing these crazy venues with like great bands too. Like we fostered a good community in that regard, and so. But yeah, EP2 I would say is pretty close to EP1. It's not maybe as laser focused on my fiance. Like I said, it's looking a bit wider, but the idea of like love, yearning, and devotion is still there in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because I almost think of like EP1 to EP2 almost like if you were to do it as like a full length, it'd be like B sides and A sides for sure. Again, not that the full theme is there, but like everything sounds cohesive enough where like you could do it all back to back, which I'm really stoked to finally do once everything's on streaming.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier. But yeah, no, like this has been so good to listen to of these songs in these formats compared to the live versions and some of the demos that are still out there on Bandcamp. And it's also kind of cool to hear like the way that they've transitioned over the years and what's led up to now. In your guys' opinion, is there a specific song that you think has changed the most from its like almost original iteration to what we're finally hearing on this EP?
Feel like Holstein like threw in.
Yeah, Holstein.
I don't know. I personally did like a lot of extra guitar bullshit. like ear candy tracks,
Yeah.
like all that stuff, just to try to like, just because I guess our idea with that was kind of trying to just write like a math rock song, and it's not super mathy, but it's like more twinkly and
Yeah.
um more like tappy, hammer on pull offy, like just that it's inspired by that genre and everything. So yeah, we threw. I feel like we threw a lot of like extra stuff on that one and tried to make it sound really interesting. And that was already a song that was like pretty reliant on like guitar effects and like just kind of seeing what weird sounds, at least for me, I could get out of my guitar and pedals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of our songs, I'm like the straight man in the group. Like I'm just playing with like a light distortion on the entire time, and then this guy over here is just throwing on crazy effects. And so I definitely that one. Really, a lot of the songs I play the same thing since we wrote the songs a few years ago. Like my parts have stayed the same, but then when you look at the studio versions of it, there's so many more layers. There's so much more depth to it. A lot because of what Sam's doing and like layering up all of these cool ear candy tracks that you catch something new every time you listen to it and you're like, oh, that's super cool. Where me, I'm just like, not playing the same thing I was doing the entire time. So
Yeah, I feel like too the like EP2 is almost like the way that like when you look at like a planet or a star, you're seeing, into the past a little bit. I feel like it's capturing a moment where we get to write as a band for the first time. Like Fate Lines like was just like with the 5 songs that we had, like kind of ready to go, and we like we need to put something out. We put it together. We put it, it's on the world. With the 5 tracks that are on Your Name Is My Ocean, like these are all written with us 5 together. We originally had a different bassist when the band started. His name is Scott. He's a great guy. No bad blood. He just had 2 commitments, and so this has like Scum Drop part of the writing process. This has like the band comfortable. We know each other. We know that like we're making some good stuff, and so I think that's a bit of why it hasn't changed too drastically. And like Charlie's parts, like when we wrote them, they felt right. When we wrote the lyrics, they felt right. The drums felt right. The bass felt right, and like Sam's additions with Ear Candy are also a means of like having more time to record them because Phalanx was just quite rushed, and we were we just didn't know if we'd get a shot at a second one, and luckily we do, and so we had more time to like devote to adding extra layers. And also like almost like the beauty of playing these songs for like a year and a half before recording them is that we got to realize that, you know what, there is space for something new here. There is a different effect we can put on here, and I think Sam's really good at like seeing that retrospectively as time goes on, from songs that we write kind of rushed in the demo stage to what we bring in the studio.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense as to what I guess what we're hearing between the 2 EPs. But I'm like I said, it's still a nice addition to kind of what's already out there. I was trying to look for a specific tweet that I think you tweeted, or I saw it somewhere, and I can't remember where it was. I know there's a lot of tweets out there. This one's nothing bad, nothing crazy. But it had to do with Tomar, because obviously it's I don't want to butcher the name, but Tomar Hashi, Tomar Nayam. It's for most people in the scene being of white descent and not understanding other languages and stuff like that. Like, why did you choose that, and like what does it fully like mean to have that out there?
That's a great question. I think like one is that like I have been in the scene for a long time, and I've seen not myself in this scene represented a lot, and that would have been cool to see. I want to shout out some like bands that have like inspired me, like Action Adventure, Sweet Pill, Pink Shift, some bigger names who've been like bringing POC to light, and like the contemporary phase right now. Like Leisure Hours, like a great band that's doing that. And it just felt right to put some foreign language in there in terms of just like the time. Like I went to bat with a lot of people last year being like DTMF by Bad Bunny is like one of the greatest emo songs of all time. And everyone's like, that sounds nothing like emo. And I was like, you just don't understand Spanish well enough to get what the fuck this means. And I don't either, but like just the fact that like I should have taken more photos is maybe the most like emo line I've ever heard in my fucking life. And so
100%.
Yeah, like 100%, right? It's just like holy shit. And so like I think like just the idea of like any piece of art is a piece of history, and if I were to like leave my like mark as like the written part of the music, like I think like the music that the band writes will stand forever. I think like these are some of the four, two here, two not here. Some of the four like greatest musicians the scene will see, and that's me speaking outside of tenmonthsummer. I just think they're really talented and they're really good. Um, the story I want to tell with my words like can work in English, but like I was raised on a different tongue. I speak it different to my grandma, and they won't be here forever either. And so like I wanted to leave some kind of like legacy behind of like, an homage to the language. I'd love to get like Spanish in there too at some point. My partner's Peruvian, and I think it's like, I don't know, to be exposed to different ways of understanding a story is very fascinating because like Tomar Hashi Tomar Nam just means like your laugh slash smile at your name. And like the whole like phrase is like Tomar Hashi, Amar Aro, Tomar Nam, Amar Shagor, which is basically means like your name slash your laugh. That's the same word. Is my light, and then your name is my ocean, which is where we get the EP title from. And it just, like I was thinking a lot about the line from Turnstile, where he says, has it and it's been so long, is a mystery gone? And when you love someone, like every human being is a mystery, and especially to love someone and to be with them, you get to uncover that more. But there's still so much to find out. Like I will never know my partner fully, even on the day that I die, and when any of us die, we won't know our partners like that. And so, just that person's identity is an ocean, and there's so many ways to understand that. And Bengali or just thinking of any other language is just such a fascinating means to like decrypt the story in different ways. Like I've been trying to read more foreign poetry, and just the metaphors they use, like are just so fascinating because it's just like not ways that I think. Like there's a Spanish band we like a lot called Biela that just like writes some like crazy ass lines, and it is translated so simply in English, but even the simple English translation is just so like profound. And so, not that I'm as profound as these people, but I wanted to take a crack at it at least. It felt important to have like the script and the language captured in this EP as we talk about the mystery of people and the idea of like building community and building bridges across these oceans and lakes of existence.
I love that you're representing this. You know, I, I people see pictures of me and I'm on screen. My dad is from Central America, so I am half Hispanic, and it's one thing to see different bands kind of do stuff. Like obviously, I just happen to be wearing a Riley shirt today, representing, but to see people of color like come out and do this, but also like represent stuff in this scene and in culture where it's primarily just a lot of white dudes doing stuff to change it up and kind of just show out with it because it is all part of all of us. It's really nice to see, like, hopefully this sparks something in a few of the other bands that are kind of out there to kind of do something with adding in different language lyrics or doing titles like kind of like what you did. I know it's been on my list. We'll see if it ever actually happens. I want to do a full episode in Spanish one of these days. We'll see if it happens. I get super self-conscious like speaking Spanish, but one day maybe it'll happen, and I think I'll have to credit you to giving me more inspiration to do it. But it's just lovely to see in the long run.
Get Biella on the pod.
Yeah,
that would be that.
You can get Biela from Spain on the pod. That'd be sick. They're so good.
Or Comic
Comic
Sans.
Sans.
That's true.
Really good.
Comic
Yeah.
Sans is my
Really good
preference
Spanish
between
band.
those two.
Yeah.
And we're trying, so we can like maybe help you out with trying to get comms with them or something. But there's also, I mean, if you're into hardcore, there's a band from the South Side here called Si Dios Quiere, and they're so fucking good. And I bet that they'd like also like be open and hopefully not be judgmental about like the ways that we are trying to learn the languages that we're from. I mean, like I only speak my home tongue with my grandma really, and like when I speak it to people like that are from Bangladesh, like, the city proper, they're like, "Why is your accent so bad? Like, why do you speak like you're dumb?" And I'm like, "Well, my grandma has an eighth grade education, so like I have the vocabulary of a child. Like, I don't know. Like, I can only speak to what I've learned." And so I totally empathize with you. I'm like feeling self conscious sometimes of like using the home tongue, but you got this. You should do it. I think it'd be really cool, and I'd love to tune in and learn how to speak more Spanish too.
But yeah, the south side Hispanic, Latino people, like hold shit down in the hardcore scene.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah, they run that.
that's like a good chunk of the hardcore scene here, and it's
Mhm.
very cool to see. There's
Yeah.
I imagine that C Dioscure is by no means the only band with
Oh yeah.
even just a Spanish name.
Oh yeah. There's like Vatos Tristes.
Yeah, there's sick
There's
bands. They're
so
more,
many.
I don't even know what I call it. They're genre bending.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. But
But
yeah,
anyway, we're off topic. But yeah, a lot of good Spanish-speaking bands in Chicago that we would love to put you in touch with if you want to do a Spanish episode.
I mean the biggest hardcore venue right now is a Mexican restaurant.
That's true.
It's
Wait, did you say a Mexican restaurant is the biggest hardcore
yeah,
venue?
Casa Cafe. That's where most of the I feel like most of the hardcore heavy like screamo shows are down in a little village. So
If you're ever in town,
shout out to the little village because they've been through a lot of shit recently, and
Yeah.
it's a vibrant, beautiful place that everybody there deserves to be able to live like everybody else. They've been fucking terrorized by ICE, so it's been very sad.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Shout out to them. I usually ask this question later in the episode, but since we're kind of talking about different spots, venues and stuff, like let's say I get a chance to head down to Chicago, and I can go to basically any venue, see a solid DIY show. Like what spots should I be hitting up?
I've got a couple.
Because there are levels.
There
I
are.
think.
For like if you want like true DIY shit, I feel like they really only do screamo stuff now. But Empty Bliss is a really good spot. Me and Charlie have been a while back. We saw Oolong and Buena Cara.
Right, that's right. I was like, some like little dingy basement.
Yeah, who else? That's like a great basement venue that's been around forever.
We've unfortunately had a few shut down recently, which really,
It's a bummer.
really stinks. But not is that?
Yeah, Not's another one that's good.
Not.
Not does a lot of. I feel like they do a lot of hardcore.
Yeah. They have Hotline TNT, right?
Yeah, Hotline TNT played there not too long ago.
Yeah.
Not and Empty Bliss are the two that are I feel like really holding it down as far as like
house
true
venues.
true DIY house venues.
Yeah.
For small venues, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the kickstand venues, Kickstand Productions, they do a lot of shows at Sub T and B Kitchen. Those are great venues with good sound. I think honestly, Burlington Bar does not get enough love from the community. Like I know they run late on their shows sometimes and stuff, but the sound there is like really good. The room is pretty nice, and like the bar staff has always been awesome. But it's just like not super accessible for a lot of people, and so they don't like end up going out there. But I think
They're
it's a
also
good venue.
super accommodating too. Like
They're
they're happy to have whatever kind of music you play. Like we'll put a show together. It will run late, and they'll be like, "We're gonna start at 9 on a Sunday," and you're like,
that
but
part's rough.
but you want to know what? They are just good people there.
They occupy a great space as far as kind of being the entry level venue that will just kind of book whoever, regardless of how much experience you have or how many people you can draw out. They'll just say, "Hey, can you play on this bill?" And it'll be like, I saw my friends like kind of slowcore indie band play with a like polka band and like a cumbia band that was like a 10-piece, like with all sorts of like auxiliary percussion and like keyboard players and all those sorts of stuff. Like they'll throw together the craziest mixed bills, but like so many people, my first show that I ever played in the city was at the Burlington, and so many other people's is too. So they like occupy a really good spot.
It's the most typical Burlington lineup I've ever heard. But I'm trying to think and then for bigger shows, Bottom Lounge.
I think like when you're at like the 500 plus, like Bottom Lounge is awesome. Like,
yeah, you can't really beat that at that size.
Yeah, that room is awesome. Lincoln Hall's, I think, roughly that.
Yeah, it's around there.
It's around there.
It's
That's
like a little smaller.
Good sound there too.
Concord Music Hall is one that I've seen.
Yeah,
A couple.
I feel like if you're once you're like the Concord Hall level, you're like a big band. Like you're maybe not as DIY anymore. But I mean, not that those labels matter. But like I feel like you're getting enough exposure and you're on enough bills to where you're probably there because you are like the headliner or you're on a headliner, like you're an opener for a headliner on like a national run. But
Talia's the dream.
Yeah,
I would love to
yeah.
play
Talia
Talia
Hall, if you're listening,
Yeah, please.
we're
please.
we're available.
Like I saw Foxing and Pool Kids there,
Oh.
and Foxing in the hotelier there.
Jesus.
That place is.
That sounds so good. I saw the
good.
Maria's there, and they sounded delightful. So good.
It's honestly like there's so many good venues. It might just be like find the bands that you want to see because
Yeah,
it's
right.
going to be awesome wherever you go. But definitely a little, we have a glut of possible places to play.
Yeah, we are very lucky with the options.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've heard Burlington Bar listed. So that's always a plus. I sat down with recently. I think their episode comes out after yours, so time's a construct for people listening to this episode. But I sat down with the band Onion, and I can't remember which.
Oh no!
Yeah.
He loved Mike from Onion.
Yeah.
That's our homies.
Yeah.
I can't remember what venue they said off the top of my head. People have to wait to the future to figure it out, but it was a spot that like was a DIY spot, and then they bought like a venue bar and like
Boat Club. Yeah.
But that one also was like the first time I heard of that one. So recently, so it's nice hearing new spots than just like the normal like go play Sub T or hit Beat Kitchen, which lovely venues, but it's nice to hear those outliers.
You're right. I have this hidden gem for you. It's called Beat Kitchen.
If you want, I mean, the other venue that I recently have kind of been developing a love for is Cole's Bar.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
true.
Because it's another place where their shows run late, but they're kind of like the home in Chicago for like dungeon synth, which is like a genre I've really been getting into recently. I went to a show there probably about a month ago, and it was like one of my favorite shows I've been to this year so far.
Oh, yeah.
So I appreciate that they're like willing to roll with the weird shit a lot more.
True. Sam's also in a dungeon band called Gauntlets, so if people want the extended Temmo universe, check out Gauntlets as well. They're a really good band.
Hell yeah. It's nice hearing that there's like those pockets, because I feel like when I look at like the Twin Cities lineups all the time, like I haven't seen like that weird show. Like I haven't figured out like that venue that just does like the weird shit. I know that there's like a few like synth shows that happen here and there, but like there hasn't been that one venue where I'm like, oh, you want to go to a crazy ass show? Let's go to this place. They're always guaranteed to have something. But all around, great venues also in Minneapolis, where whatever you guys make it up here, we'll have, I'm sure it'll pack out just fine, and it'll be a great time.
The dream would be to play Pillar Forum. I've heard so many good things about it, and that's where your fest is happening, right?
Yep, Pillar Forum. That's where Beers Advance Fest 3 is happening, is at Pillar Forum. It's a solid spot. The stage used to be like a mini half pipe, which was really cool, but it also sucked to watch. Like I felt bad for the bands that were like 5 pieces, because like you're up there so awkwardly, but they got rid of the full half pipe version, so now it's just like a normal stage. But it's a solid spot. It's connected to a coffee shop. I think about 125 cap, so like it's going to get nice and sweaty on July 17th. If you're in Minneapolis, be there. But it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, that reminds us to shout out Bricktown, which is it's like in like it's like the second floor of like a warehouse, but on the second floor there's like a small like bowl to skate in that's like behind the bands, and the stage is tiny, but like the vibe is sick.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, you were at that show too.
Yeah, that's like another true DIY spot.
Yeah.
We saw like Garden Home and Bottom Bracket, and the show was ripped.
Enswell.
Yeah.
Oh, Enswell was on that. Oh,
That was a ripper. That's
it
good.
was a crazy show, and you're just like, we were walking around being like, where is this place? It's negative 12 degrees out in Chicago, and we're wandering around trying to find like what door are we supposed to be walking in, and you go, and it was so cool. It was so much fun.
Dude, hell yeah. That's always the funny part, is when you're trying to find that one spot. It is such DIY that it's like there's no way this is the spot, and it's just like the crummiest looking spot.
It's like an alley. It's just it's an unlisted warehouse, and you just walked in, but it was sick.
We followed a kid with a skateboard, and we're like, he's got to know where he's going.
He walked in, he's got to go into Bricktown. If this comes out around 6/5, check out the new Enswell single also, by the way, because they've been holding that shit for a while, and they're very good.
Yeah, that single fucking rips. Very stoked on it. Everyone be sure to go listen to Frame Your Face if you haven't already.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, those random DIY spots are nuts. Because I remember this one time we played a show in like I think Cleveland or Columbus. It was somewhere in Ohio, and it was just like this rundown, shitty ass like apartment building, and like we played on the first floor, and like it was super sketchy. Where like people were just going in and out, like upstairs and out, like all day, like and come to find out that the guy basically would just like rent out rooms for like $20 and people would just go up there and like just shoot up heroin and stuff. And we just had like a whole like pop punk DIY show on the first floor. And we're like, what the fuck is going on?
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that spot was wild.
Another booking? No, we are not going there. We're not going there.
The wildest part was that they were like, "Oh yeah, if you guys want, you guys can crash here. You can crash in like the green room." There was like a shitty ass futon like in the green room. There was like ants everywhere. We're like, "Nah, man, we'll just drive home. It's fine. Like we're
Yeah.
2 states away. We'll just manage."
No thanks. Yeah, yeet. That's wild. That sounds no bueno to me.
Hopping back into this EP, for people that have seen the singles that they're dropping, you guys have kind of done these cool different single artworks for Tomar and then also for Broken Fist, which I gotta say the Broken Fist artwork makes you guys look like the hardest hardcore band, and I love it so much.
Then you hear the song.
Then you're like 202 and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
But then for the full album, for the full EP release, you guys kind of go back to similar artwork from EP1. Was there a reason to kind of stick with the similar style with the full release?
I mean, I think we just wanted some continuity there. I know, like Luke was very like we want a new creature, as we self-actually call the things that are on both EP arts. I mean, like I'm an avid Pokemon fan, so I was like, I'm down for another Pokemon-esque run to really play off that and see if Nintendo will sue us, and so that we can get on like the Onion and Hard Times for that kind of shit. Other than that, I mean, like the impetus for it wasn't like super like we have to do this, but it just felt kind of like right, at least for this era of the band. And we'll see what like LP1 cover art looks like and what that shapes up to be. But once we knew we were going to do the creature, that did help like kind of direct the artists on like how we wanted to look and feel. Shout out Mackenzie also, who made both the creatures. They were great. They're a great artist as well, and so we went through a couple like drafting phases, and they were very nice about all of our weird, comments or being like, can you like bend the spine like 8 more degrees or whatever, or make the star look like this. Christ, no. But yeah, I mean, there was no like we have to do a creature EPT, but it just felt really, I don't know. Fate Lines felt really symbolic of that creature and what it meant. I think of like. I think in the EP release party for that, or like the preview on Discord, we described it as like, Fate Lines feels like a record that feels so nebulous, and like the creature wanted to embody like you're in a forest with like the person you love, and you see this like thing, like the creature on the EP, and if you saw it, you'd like not believe it for a moment, and then it just kind of vanishes, and that kind of feels like the impetus behind what all the 5 songs on that EP are about, of like this feeling of like this love is very like, I don't know, ethereal, and it feels almost like too good to be true, and yet here it is in front of you, but like you can't really describe it to anybody else. And like this one, I don't know, like I feel like this creature, it's like if you were in space and you saw this shit, you would be like, holy shit. You'd have, I think, a sense of maybe both awe and perhaps trepidation, and I feel like that's the teetering of where a lot of these songs on the second EP kind of sit, of like, here are moments of like joy and beauty, but also here are moments of still deep anxiety, and as you can hear in like Broken Fist, like we are living through what feels like the end times, or maybe like the end of an empire, because the US has been a pretty shitty empire for a long time, and what does that mean for its constituents and those who are kind of trapped inside its walls as it crumbles. I don't know if that really answers the question, but that's kind of where my brain went. I don't know if you guys have any better descriptions.
I feel like it's like a pretty good like continuation of like a lot of the EP2 songs are written like pretty damn close to the EP1 songs or at the same time.
Yeah.
Some of the EP1 songs. And so like I feel like like in hindsight at least it makes sense that it's like the two EPs have like kind of iterations on the same idea as far as artwork and doing like a Pokemon red blue kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whatever, gold, green, purple, pink, whatever. I'm saying the colors to piss Nish off. Because he's like, that's not the right generation.
You know, the soju's keep me level and chill.
Yeah, turquoise, cyan.
I think what you said too about like them being like A and B sides kind of makes sense too. I feel like, you know, I didn't think about it that way, but that does feel right. You know, it's like two sides of like maybe a longer story being told.
And I like that just with both creatures that the star being like incorporated into both of them. Like it's almost not that we're making new legendary Pokemon or anything, but that there is this consistency between them. And I guess if we ever do a third EP, I do think it would be cool to continue this, like, you know, fake. Speaking of Twitter, someone who is it that posted all their Pokemon stuff and
what?
And got called out, and someone was
Kristen, one of our pals, posted like their
that
entire.
was very funny.
It was like someone was like talking to about emulators, and like someone posted like what Kristen posted what the hell is an emulator, and posted their like physicals, but at the back is our CD, which is like the CD version of Fate Lines has like a fake Game Boy cover, and someone was just like, "What do you mean?" Physicals, like what real shit?
Zoomed in on it
on this
like,
fake ass Pokemon game, and she was like, "It's a fucking CD with like a crying emoji." It's just so fucking funny. Just getting people,
but like it fits in so well too with like the whole ecosphere and everything with it. That's
yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see what a third creature would do to encapsulate this. I also got to say, you know, quick shout out to Jordan over at We're Trying the variants that you guys have done for this new EP. I don't remember which one I ordered at this point, but they both are super solid, and that because I really love it when a band can do a variant that somehow matches the colors kind of with like the artwork. Like that's it's something I've grown to enjoy more like lately. Like so if a band puts out, you know, two different variants, if one doesn't fully translate right to the cover art, then I'm kind of like, I'm not really feeling that one. I'll go with the other one. And I feel like both of these ones, like color scheme wise, work perfectly. So shout out to you guys for also coming up with that, and shout out to Jordan for helping you guys and being, you know, the catalyst behind helping everything.
Yeah,
Charlie really wanted to do like a brown and yellow variant.
That's right.
And we were like,
we had to beat.
We were just like, this is.
I was like, I thought it wouldn't. No, like we were very much like not a black one. We want something because
why is that?
Right. Oh my.
But the first for Fate Lines when we had done the Coke bottle with the bit of a splatter like that one,
the splatter.
Like it turned out really well. It's a bit more unique. It has a bit of character to it as well, and so being able to find something that similarly, like exactly what you were saying, encapsulates a little bit of the cover art, but also just a real like motif around everything. That it was cool that Jordan was open with us to do two different types this time, as our, you know, we were going to expand a little bit, that we did the splatter and the swirl as opposed to just only having one option.
Yeah, we were like, I mean, we were very lucky that the first EP, you know, we had 100 printed of that, and like we had 50 online with the company we work with, or the record label we work with on that Opie Avenue, and then we had 50 in our hands, and we were very shocked and humbly shocked that like those 50 sold out in like 3 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah, it was less than a day.
The day
So we were like, maybe we'll print a couple more this time, and I think we've already sold out 1/6 before the EP has come out, which again, for a band of our size, like we are very aware that we are the size we are, and we are not trying to pretend like we are some massive, you know, DIY monolith by any means. But the community we've built, I think, has been really kind to us, and we're hoping that they will enjoy this record as much as we had fun and as much as we sweat to make it. But there's never any pressure, Like these records will sell and they sell, and if they don't, that's also fine. But we want to give two options this time, so you weren't locked into just one idea, because I think we've got a bit of bigger of a base sometimes, and also we've had many people being like, "Can we get Fate Lines on vinyl?" And we're like, "It is gone. Wow, I'm so sorry. We don't have any more." And
I officially have no more.
Yeah,
as the merch person, there's no more in my house. They're all gone.
We found like one extra one, and we shipped it to Cater FM, who did a lot of like really nice like pre-listening parties for both singles, and so that was the only extra one we found. We literally have no other secret copies of Fate Lines anywhere. You'd have to like fight me for mine, I guess. So, do you guys have?
I mean, I have mine.
You have,
I was about to say, I'm not.
You have to either fight me for mine or kill Charlie for his. And
what?
I would rather you kill Charlie than fight me. So
I'm the least important person in the band. Someone else will.
Super replaceable. Just kidding. Don't kill Charlie. Anyone out there is getting weird about us.
Wait till I get fired.
Yeah.
And then
we don't want a John Lennon situation
Yeah.
on our hands. Holy shit.
But to your comment about the community that you built, I think that's a testament to also the scene right now, where we see bands that are trying to do vinyl and able to do vinyl, because it's not like an easy feat. But I think there's something good to be said about the scene right now, where like everyone, if they're able to, is supporting in some way, shape, or form. And like obviously vinyl's been on this big comeback over the last few years, and like I know, as I've said this on multiple episodes, as like a bigger dude, me buying shirts is sometimes very weird, because like even though I bought this Riley shirt, it's got a full front print. As a big dude, it looks weird sometimes if I'm not feeling good vibes that day. But I know a record will play the same and stay flat, hopefully, all the time. And I'd rather spend money on that sometimes than a shirt. And it's nice to have those options to kind of like get that stuff. But I feel like there's a good influx of people that are able to support in that way, with it being sometimes a little bit more expensive, but still showing out and picking up those collectibles.
Yeah, I mean, it is not a very financially easy time to be alive right now, right? I mean, like, especially given the recent, happenings with Iran and everything, and, the tariffs that our lovely president has, evoked with other countries. And so, like, we recognize that, like, to give your hard-earned money outside of your bills, your groceries, and your, like, livelihood to a podunk emo band from Chicago, to get a shirt or vinyl or whatever, a piece of merch, or not even us, but anyone, is like a true like privilege to like have your financial support. But we also want to stress that like if you're someone who cannot afford these things, like reach out to us if there's something we can like find in between. Maybe we waive shipping costs for you. We'd love to do that if we can. But also, like, talking about bands you love is free, which is really cool. We never want to impose a financial barrier to, like, liking tenmonthsummer. If you can't, like, buy our merch, we don't like you less, Someone who bought... Okay. So, no, I'm just kidding. But really, if like, there's nothing about your monetary support for this band that makes you better than someone else. It just means your situation is a bit more privileged in that moment, which is great for you. And we appreciate that support. But if you're someone who is like going through stuff and want to support this band, like, we appreciate that too. And the fact that you give us time, which is in a finite and also very valuable resource, is super humbling. So if you check us out at all, we would appreciate that. That goes a long way to you versus just being like, I gave you money, which is awesome. But that's not what we're doing this for either. So we're just glad that people give a shit at all.
Yeah, the decision is between paying rent and getting a vinyl. That's what there's this thing called a credit card.
Yeah. Sam says you can take on that debt on your credit card, buy a vinyl, and then never pay it back. They can't chase you when you're dead, right?
Sam is the modern day Dave Ramsey.
Yeah,
that is big fan of it. Big fan of it.
That is not the band stance. I just let me make that clear.
Yeah, big day, financial peace for everyone in this room.
That's right.
you know, it's very tempting sometimes just to run up a credit card and just fake a death. You never know, but don't do it. It's very difficult to get away with.
Morally, very okay.
Yeah. Our stance on that is yes, fraud the IRS for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
We are so about that. Just kidding, IRS, if you're watching.
We'll save that for the Patreon episode.
Pro those who do it.
Yeah, we're pro it. We're not doing it ourselves that often.
Like I've said earlier, you know, this EP fully drops on May 15th. By the time this episode's out, everyone will have listened to it, you know, millions of thousands of hundreds of times.
Yes, of course. Yeah, God, please God, please God.
At least.
I know that there's a few singles out already, but like, what song are you like from this release? Whether it's a one that's already out or one that's going to be fully released on Friday, like, what are the songs that you guys are most excited for people to hear in like their full entirety?
Ooh,
I mean, I know what it is for me.
so let the people know.
So yeah, I think mine for sure is When We're Here,
No, you still
which is like
That's right.
which was my attempt at doing kind of like a full on like My Bloody Valentine shoegaze song and like trying to make everybody else do that. And so that one's really fun. I tried to get really loud. I think I damaged my hearing mildly while like reamping it. But yeah, that one I'm super pumped about because it's kind of one of those things like Every Day Feels Like 9/12 where it's like a little bit of a depart. I think it's less of a departure than that song is from our sound, but it's still like it's like a little more unique. And that one, like I wrote parts on it that are kind of my love letter to like My Bloody Valentine and Loveless because that album was pretty seminal for me in college and like just shoegaze as a genre, like a lot of it stems back to that one and just the just did that general sound. So that was me doing my best like Kevin Shields impression, which was like does not hold a candle to anything that
I think you did a pretty good job.
They ever put out.
I'll hold the candle for you.
Yeah, I'll hold like two candles for you.
I am very proud of how that song turned out. I think it sounds very cool, and it's one of my favorite ones to play live. So
Yeah.
On a much more, I guess, simplistic or basic reason, it's the one that isn't on anything else. Like it's the one that's not on Live at G-Man. It's not one of the singles, so it's. I think it's a fresh new one that
completely new.
Yeah, when you think
True
about
secret.
I mean, even like what we did on Fate Lines, I feel like that's one of the biggest departures from the sound we had, and shows a bit more of the like what we're capable of and what we can do. So it's a nice change of pace, and also it rips to play live.
Yeah,
so
that shit's so fun.
That one is I don't know if it's a fan favorite. It's one of my favorites. I was like, I hope people like it, but it's
People are gonna constantly like, this song fucking sucks, bro.
Put it on r/shoegaze.
Yeah. I put it on r/emo.
Yeah.
What they say. I think I'm in agreement. And maybe that's just like the Tenmo 2 for 2, or like I Get It You're Scared was a track that wasn't anywhere on, like you couldn't find it really anywhere before it came out, and people like we thought like Destiny Bond was like the song, and it is still a song people like absolutely love. But in terms of like speed / percentage of like play count to time it's been out, not that like that is like the end all be all, but like that song like picked up so fast when the EP came out, and I've got a feeling that When We're Here is going to be a song that like when people like hear it, they're like, oh, like damn, I didn't know they could like move like that, which I think that we were moving like that on that song. Like if you like shoegaze, but also if you miss when movements did spoken word, you've got a bit of that both. And maybe you can attest, I guess, if we're right or not on that mark. But I don't know. I think it's just like a song that like it closes the EP in a very giant, but also like very like minute way almost. And I don't know. It just feels it's a good song to play live. It like has this insane energy, and to me, like the lyrics mean so much to me personally. The idea of like despite the horrors that we must survive and like live through, like when we're here, like me and Mariana, specifically, like when it's just me and her, like no matter what is going on, I know we're gonna be fine. And I hope in all the quantum realities that we exist in, I still find her. Like that just feels really compelling to me as a story to tell and to feel and to believe in, even if it's not true. I don't know. I don't know what's happening outside of this reality, but I hope it's the same in every reality. And so I think that the people that like have come to Tenmo for our more yearning aspects versus the general line of like I hate my ex that is out in a lot of emo pop punk. I think they'll eat pretty good with that song.
Are we going to become a Coheed and Cambria style where we're going to write a story that goes with, and then all of our songs are actually referencing like the graphic novel of?
I mean, if we get paid,
That was my plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was
we'll,
like,
we'll sell out for
I
kind of
mean-
anything. By the way, for anyone
yeah,
listening.
that's,
If you
I
have enough
meant more
money,
artistically.
write whatever you want.
Well, I mean, I've commissioned some like really good art of Charlie. He's really big and
Very big.
just round and
His
so,
tummy's very
so just
protruding.
He's just so full. And,
It's so full.
he's just so
LP1's gonna be fucking crazy.
and like I have some adventures that he's gonna go on.
Okay, so we have two different stories going
He's,
in this graphic novel
yeah.
that we're going back and forth.
It's all about Charlie. But yeah, no, When We're Here is, I think, a really fun track. I do think that Broken Fist, by the studio version, like by the time we like wrote all these, like that one, like I really enjoy it personally. I think it feels like a bit of a continuation of like what 912 is talking about, and like it unfortunately feels ever so pertinent. This idea of like just being so exhausted but still having to fight. But like if we fight together, it's maybe worth it. And I don't know, the scream that Scumdrop does, like, when they shave you say this shit's fucked, like that just like gets me I feel compelled to like do a workout when I hear that line. So take that as you will.
Yeah, I think right now Broken Fist is probably my favorite of everything that's been released, just because it's between that one and Tomar, they're both like the most accessible ones. I feel like that's came out as successful, and that's not what I was trying to say. But the most accessible as of right now. I think when this full EP comes out and I get to go through it multiple times, I think it'll probably change. But I gotta say, like, it's crazy that Broken Fist was written when it was, and how much it's still relatable, and even more, I feel like, in today's time.
It's so sad. Like,
Yeah.
We wrote that before even like October 7th had happened. Like we wrote that before all of this had gone. Before ICE, before Trump. Like we were just writing it based on like gun violence mainly in the US. That's what the song's impetus was. And suddenly now the water's unclean from data centers. There are children being killed here and overseas in many different countries. There's ICE in the neighborhoods of so many of our beloved communities, stealing people and just like unjustly, kidnapping and trafficking people across state lines. Like, if that song is prophetic, we apologize that we wrote it, I guess, because we did not want it to be.
His fault.
We did not want it to be like that.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a statement of, a smaller snapshot 2 to 3 years ago, and suddenly that snapshot has become the entire picture, which is really it's quite upsetting. And we have spent a lot of time and a lot of energy, efforts, both physically, emotionally, financially, from this band to like offset some of these things the best we can. Like any given day, we're happy to forego show pay, just donate it. We've done that quite a few times. Like that's part of why, like, again, this band doesn't run for money. We run for a community. And so we hope that like at least like the message of these songs inspire other people who have means and community and access to also, like just stand for something. Like I want to shout out Stu from Emway, who I've been talking to a lot recently about the ways that they've been trying to get Francesca Hong really supported by their music. She's like a Democratic socialist who like most likely is going to win in Wisconsin. The governor race, which is like fucking crazy to see that state flip. And so, it's like it's not nothing to like talk about these things. It might not be the biggest dent, but it's a dent nonetheless, and it sometimes it just takes one crack in the dam to make the water flow. And so we want to be swinging the hammer as often as possible. And shout out to all the bands that do that, and to yourself and to other platforms, let us talk about this stuff too, because it's really important.
Of course, yeah. It's this is the time where our voices need to be heard the most. There's so much fucked up shit going on in this country. Obviously, you mentioned ICE infiltrating, communities. Obviously, I'm in Minneapolis where it was fucked. They're still around every so often, sneaking around. I work with a few people that will go out and monitor bus stops and help the community, and it's nice to see. Considering most of the people I work with I wouldn't anticipate that. So it's nice not being the only guy in that office now. But it's just fucked, and getting the word out in some sort of form, and seeing it come through in the DIY voices that we're listening to. Obviously, with the stuff you guys are doing, we see Scarlet Street do the same, something similar on their latest record. It's nice to kind of get those things out. As much as we have past relationships that have gone bad, and we want to cry along to some mom jeans every once in a while, we gotta get our fists raised and finger point a little bit to some of this political. Saying political agenda sounds really bad, but
It's true.
yeah, I whenever I hear political agenda, I automatically think of like just the right wing trying to do what they're doing. So like I'm trying to like not use those terms, but essentially, we have to get behind what's being out there, and making sure that we're standing up for what's right.
Absolutely.
And what like Nish said too, of just the smallest things can make a huge impact. Like shout out to Luke, our drummer, who like has a 3D printer, and he has printed. I mean, we're in the thousands of whistles, tens of thousands of protest whistles and everything, and ice whistles that he's put together. And people in his neighborhood will like ship those out. We have them available at our shows of just little info cards that he's helped put together.
Yeah.
And so
in English and Spanish too, as well, pamphlets to give around, because some of us live in probably Hispanic neighborhoods too, and so like just like having that language access is also super important as well. Like an ICE pamphlet does no good to someone who can't understand English, but to know in their hometown how to like speak about this stuff, and to how to educate their communities on how to be safe, how to hide, how to move, all these things. There's just the stuff that we can do that can help a lot. In our small spaces that compounds across the country, and so. We just gotta keep on it for sure.
Yeah, I think Chicago and Minneapolis are really kind of sister cities in the fact that it's like two of the hardest hit cities over the winter, and just like really seeing evil shit go down, but also like a lot of people that you wouldn't have even thought would just come out of their homes to yell at ICE agents and to take videos and to blow whistles and keep people safe and get people out of bad situations. I've taken a lot of inspiration from Minneapolis and seeing the stuff that's gone down there, because it's just as intense as if not more than what we've experienced here in Chicago, and the way people turned out there to fight back against it is very very inspirational. And I don't know, I think we want, as a band, we want our communities to be safe, and we want people to feel comfortable and safe and have their needs met, regardless of where they come from or how they got to where they got to, because that shit just doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're just fucking people. Like that's what it comes down to, really.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Be out there for your community if you can. I know we've bounced around quite a bit. That tends to happen on these episodes. There's no real structure. But is there anything that I might have missed on between Tenmo or Your Name Is My Ocean that you want the people to know about?
Last week I won bar trivia.
Sam won trivia.
Yeah,
he's really proud of it.
I won bar trivia.
We need the people to know that he's smart.
One bar trivia. That was probably the biggest thing that's going to happen to me this year. So
Yeah, not the EP or.
I'm very excited about that more than anything else in my life. So,
I think we covered a lot of the fun stuff about EPT. I mean, it's out 5/15. If you're hearing this, you've probably already know that. And then if you're in the Chicago area, I'm assuming Bummer Summer 3 will be close to when this comes out. So if you're free, we will play some of these songs for sure at that show. It's a festival that we put together ourselves to try to bring some of our favorites from out of state, but also to showcase some local bands here that don't always get some of these stages. Gauntlets being one of those bands that Sam's in. He's doing double duty on this one. It's going to be awesome. We also have Palette Knife, Arcadia Gray, Mud Whale, Bottom Bracket, Any Two Words, and of course, Tenmonthsummer Summer will be playing this as well. It's our third time doing it, and the more of you that show up, the more bands we can get next year, and we can do it again, and they won't yell at me for not getting enough people there, which hasn't happened yet, thank God.
keep the snowball rolling.
Yeah, we want to keep it rolling. I mean, it's really cool to have DIY and emo and pop punk just come together on a fun Friday, Saturday. If we can do 2 days next year, that'd be awesome, because then we could do more out-of-state bands. We're only limited to the space we can afford with our limited capacities. But yeah, Bummer Summer 3, it's a labor of love.
July 3rd.
July 3rd.
Which is observed July 4th.
So it's
hopefully everyone...
But you'll have the day off.
So if you're having a day off, federal holidays, you should have that day.
And you should just take it off anyway, because you shouldn't be celebrating America. You should be celebrating music and community. And so that's our way to guilt trip you into coming to Bummer Summer 3. If you don't come, you basically hate community and you're becoming a fascist, I guess. So I guess you should come to Bummer Summer 3 if you're in Chicago. If you're out of state, I get it. It's hard to travel. But
I think even if you're out of state.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
If you're out of state and don't attend, that's like you're giving Donald Trump
you're giving
kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, you're basically funding the ballroom if you don't come to Bummer Summer 3. So fucked up, guys. Jesus. Come on. Be better.
10monthsummer says build the ballroom.
No, we do not.
No, we do not.
Can you edit that part out? The soju's talking a bit too much. That's the Texas in them coming out.
But yeah, definitely go to Bummer Summer. The lineup is super sick. It's nice to see those kind of like more DIY style festivals kind of keep going. Obviously, we've lost a couple over the past few years. Coachella might come back at some point. RIP ? But it's nice to see them keep growing. And as someone that's also doing my third year, I know how much of a pain in the ass it is to put one of those together. So
go to Beers with Band Fest also. That's a similar thing. If you don't go there, you're funding the ballroom. That's fucked up. We don't want that. So just do the right thing and go to the festival.
Yep, Nish said it here, so you have to do it. And who knows? Maybe next year, Tenmo gets on Beers Bands Fest 4.
We'll try anywhere you want us to with enough notice and PTO that we can give to our bosses.
Hell yeah, we'll figure it out. But we'll talk links here in a second, and I'll make sure to put a link down there for Bummer Summer tickets as well. This is obviously Beers with Bands. You don't have to be drinking on these episodes, but I know y'all have been having some fine beverages on this fine Monday night. What are y'all drinking tonight?
This is Goldfinger Chela Clara, which is, if I'm not mistaken, a local Chicago, like Downers Grove beer. We're drinking some soju.
We have Jinro strawberry soju as well.
Yes, we're a big soju.
We love soju.
Big soju fan.
Yeah, as much as we love Malort, soju's a bit higher.
And so Charlie and Nish fucking hate me, so they haven't tried my hard root beer from Aldi yet.
Sam's gluten free, so I did buy.
And Charlie did buy me a gluten free sour. And that's
beer.
The first beer I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
So my first beer is on the Beers with Bands.
And Sam's like 18, so this is all illegal. Just crazy.
Oh shit!
Charlie's always been the guy, like, if you need to get a minor alcohol, he's the person I talk to.
Yeah.
We are not getting invited back.
He's known He's really none of the community for that.
Wrong community.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Registered.
No,
Everything.
no. None of that. What you had a Modelo and was a ham?
Hams?
That
I saw
Yeah, pre-show beer was a good old Modelo, and then classic hams for the episode.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Love hams.
Hams, if you're listening, you should sponsor Beers with Bands Fest 4 and buy us all chilies when we play it.
They need to respond because like I sent them a holiday card last year or 2024. I didn't do one last year, but I sent it in 2024. Never got a response.
That's pretty fucked up. There's like definitely some like low paid intern who could like have certainly responded to that and gotten a
Right.
that would have been great for their socials and their metrics.
I even bought like a full 30 rack for it. I don't know
Damn.
if you can see it in this.
Wait, that's actually so beautiful.
Oh
What
my!
Wait,
I love that.
That's so nice.
That's hard.
All right,
Yeah, go ahead.
do it again this year, and if Hams doesn't respond, we'll get you on a new beer. That's fine.
All right.
Old
That's
style.
fair.
That's
Chicago would never do you like this. Oh, it's that Malort would respond to you. Malort sponsored my volleyball team last year. It was crazy.
Man, this show's gonna get wild in I switched to Malort just to get that sponsorship.
2027.
But we'll see. Yeah, I kind of want to do another holiday card, so hopefully I'll get onto it sooner than I did last time and get some new shots going and send them all out to the peeps. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. One thing that I think was brought up by Charlie when we were talking about when we were talking about when we were here, I was trying to hold this question until we got to this point, and thankfully I remembered it. And how it's kind of like, I think Charlie kind of said like a departure from, EP1 and like the sound. I think Nish, you also said earlier, like this is kind of the bookend on what Tenmo is for this era. As we look forward to Tenmo in the future, I know we've kind of hinted at, LP1, but like what can we expect sound wise, or at least what's up the sleeve so far leading into the future for Tenmo?
Oh man,
Hey, more riffs.
yeah,
I'm trying to be
we're riffing.
I'm trying to be more riffy, more twinkly. I feel like everything's gonna be, not that like recorded stuff can be that much tighter than the old recorded stuff, but like we've been playing together for a while now, and like we know each other, and I feel like our songwriting process, I think instrumentally you're gonna see just like a lot of improvement from every member of the band that plays an instrument.
Yeah.
Not really a whole lot of improvement from Nish.
It's gonna get way worse. The amount of
Very-
auto-tune I'm gonna need is the Melodyne is my new wife, I think, actually.
Yeah, Tomar.
But,
Tomar. Fuck.
we do. I mean, like it's the process we have now of rather than just like one of us trying to write everything and like fill in the blanks here and there. It's like it's much more of a collaborative process. I feel
Yeah.
like more recently with our songs, some of them get heavy, some of them are going even maybe softer and cleaner than they were. So like it's sonically probably all over the place, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to lead to a better product just because we're more comfortable and better playing with each other and writing with each other. But I don't know. Do we have?
I mean, for the album, we're trying to write a little more intentionally.
Yes,
And have like not necessarily like a narrative like with any like OCs or like fan art things or
But
drawings, but like we're trying to have it be.
I think this is like a loose, like maybe not like a concept album, but like loose themes and motifs tying LP1
That's
together. But on the journey to LP1, I think the most you can expect from us, which maybe isn't helpful, is that anything you get from us will be fun. In that, like, we really don't care to write or put out music that we don't love. Like, our first goal in writing is, do us five like this song? Like, the graveyard of Tenmo demos is longer than anything that we'll ever put out. And that's just how it is. We are super prolific and it's really exciting. And we are also very, maybe not cutthroat, but very pointed about, you know what, this isn't serving my joy of playing, this song. And if that's how it ends up with even like one of us, then we probably don't return to that idea from like the scratch pad. And so I don't know if that like is good for people to hear, I guess, because like that means we could probably put out another three hardcore screamo songs. We could put out some like I don't know, Burst and Decay acoustic banjo stuff, which might happen. We could do whatever. And there's no genre that will box us in. We're just 10 months summer and we'll write whatever we feel like writing. Much of the either joy or chagrin of the listener that is subject to what we put out. But at least LP1 I think will be more in the wheelhouse of EP1, EP2, but anything in between is like completely fair game. Like who knows? We might do like a Mumford and Sons style clap.
No.
You know. I'm gonna make him do it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, LP1 I think a lot more riffs, a lot more cohesion. I think you're going to see the band firing on even tighter cylinders than we have ever been, which is really exciting. I think that like the writing process has become really trusting, which I think is something that a lot of times, like when you're starting out as a band, you don't even know if you're going to be a band for that long, right? Like bands come in, like we've been a band for 3 years, and then like we've seen maybe 25% of our contemporaries call it quits in that time. So like the fact that we're still here and writing says a lot about how much we can put up with each other's bullshit, which is good. And we're gonna keep throwing bullshit at each other until we get an LP out of it, which is pretty exciting.
Album mindset.
Yeah, album mindset is the new road we're driving.
Hell yeah. Well, like I said, I'm stoked whatever you guys put out. Obviously, we've seen different versions of Tenmo over the last couple years. Between the EPs and the singles, but like I'm stoked on whatever you guys do because I know it's gonna be sick and it's gonna be killer. Whether we get a hardcore album, shoegaze, emo, that Mumford and Sons EP is gonna be sick. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm very stoked, and I know everyone else that's listening is gonna be just as stoked for that to hit. I got another question that came from the Twitter. This one. I dug a little bit deeper. We'll see if you guys like this one. It's because who normally tweets for the band? Is it mainly Nish? Okay, yeah. So we'll get Nish's opinion, and then you guys can just tear it down if you guys want on this one. So there's a classic movie that I haven't seen in a while, but it's a super classic. I think it's technically based on a true story, but it's this great surfing movie called Surf's Up.
Fuck yeah.
What makes Surf's Up one of the most incredible movies ever made?
Holy shit. There's a great 25, 26-minute video essay on YouTube about it, but it is like one of the most beautiful, like existentialist stories about someone who is doing something for the sake of notoriety, which I think is like very true about art in general, right? Like, I think like you have to have some degree of self-importance to share art, not to create it. I think if you make art, that's one thing. Like, but I mean, some of the greatest artists in the world will never share their work, which is, I think, a tragedy. But like, if you are like, we are a band, right? We have 5 people who said, "Hey, we are in our minds good enough to come together and make something, and then share it and say you should listen to this," right? There is a level of haughtiness to that and arrogance. We have to we can't skirt around it, right? If we didn't think so, we wouldn't put it on Spotify, pay money to play shows and tour and do all this, right? Surf's Up is a story about a penguin who thinks he's fucking good at surfing and wants to compete and show that he's the best at what he does. And in his journey as he goes through this entire thing, realizes the joy is in the making, and that I think is really core to how you survive in the long run, right? I think that if we were a band that was focused on metrics, on getting big, on monthly listeners, on stats or whatever, this band wouldn't last very long because it is a long haul to get validation from the external. But internally, we like the shit we do. We like seeing each other, hanging out with each other, writing songs. We've gone on a couple tours now where we spent many hours together and we haven't killed each other yet. That one is still asterisk. Who knows? The next 2-weeker might be it for us. But I just think that film does such a good job at mixing levity but seriousness in what it means. it also looks at a generational gap, right? Of like Big Z, who was at the top of his game, right? And then finding finding his nemesis and losing to someone younger doing cool stuff, which is going to be true in music, in any kind of art, right? You know, in any kind of space where there's objectivity and there's a crowd, you age out of what's cool, right? I mean, in theory, emo is not that fucking cool anymore. Like, this is a really old genre, even though it's the 90s DC hardcore scene. It's like 30 plus years old. That's old as shit, I think, for art. It moves so fast, especially now in the tech age. But Surf's Up still says it doesn't matter. You just need to make the shit. You just need to do the shit. You need to love this shit. And I think that we make the shit, we do the shit, and we love the shit. So I think Surf's Up is like so good for that. And if you haven't seen it, you should fucking watch it. It is like just one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not a big fan. I don't want to.
It's not.
I don't like.
It's not Johnny Tsunami, so
my
it can't
God.
be the best.
Johnny Tsunami is also great
I
surfing
think
film.
best surfing movie is
Three Ninjas.
no, not Three Ninjas. Soul Surfer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Soul Surfer. That's my pick.
If you know any lead guitarists, let us know. I'd love to get a new one.
What's that one with?
Free Willy.
No, Free Willy. No. You read my mind. That's crazy that you remembered.
I think Megamind.
Megamind is a great film, but it's not the same as Surf's Up. You guys gotta watch it. Have you seen it?
It's the same plot. It's the same plot.
It's not the same. It's the same plot.
Megamind and Surf's Up, same plot.
Same plot.
I'm putting it on.
You heard it here first.
The next, we're gonna have a band movie night. We're gonna make them watch this. Mandatory.
Watch Megamind.
Tenmo learning. Megamind is good. I'll give you that. It's a good
Watch
film.
Video Girl. That's like the same.
God. Oh, have you seen Surf's Up or no?
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, I've seen it. I'll rewatch it and give you my full thoughts.
Yes, I'm so curious to know. It is my fiance's favorite movie also, and so yeah, that's how I found it from her. I had never seen it until I started dating Mara, and she made me watch it. And it's one of 3 movies she owns, like on streaming, like or on like digital. So like we watch it like maybe like once a month. So I know it quite well, and it's pretty good. Have you seen it? You haven't even fucking
Seen it like 5 times.
You have
Seen it like 5 times.
they haven't even fucking seen it. They haven't even fucking seen
Seen
it.
it 5 times. That's
You
not
know,
how
if
I
you
know
were
it
a
sucks.
good band leader, you
Oh
would
my
have made us all see it already.
I'm giving you free will.
Well, I don't need to.
Free Willy.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah, 'cause you're God. Yeah, thanks, man.
God.
Appreciate it.
They haven't seen it. I don't think they've seen it.
I've seen.
When did you see it?
What's
What's the main character?
When I was a kid, Willie.
No. Okay, they haven't seen it, so they can't answer this question.
No.
I'll make them watch it.
It's
I'll make them
Z.
watch it.
Big Z.
That's not the main character.
Big Z.
I said Big Z earlier. You're just copying what I said.
It's a big Z, bro.
Okay, they haven't seen it. They haven't seen
Mayor
it.
of New York.
You keep us posted. For
Yeah.
when they finally see it. I don't know if you got to record reactions, figure it out. The
That'll be
people
our
wanna
next
know.
I believe I'm throwing up a review on Letterboxd.
Okay, that's fine. You should, and you'll see it's really high rated. It's
1
really,
star.
really good. No,
Half star.
yes. Don't wait out of pettiness. Have an open heart. Have an open
I'll have
heart.
an open heart. I'll have an open heart.
Man, dudes, this has been a great time getting to connect and finally doing this. I'm so happy our schedule worked out, and I'm truly really stoked on the new EP. You guys are killing it.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thanks for
Appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
We know we're a
Appreciate
hoot
you.
and a holler and maybe too much to handle at times,
Yeah.
but thanks for putting up with us. We're the worst.
Yeah, it's good.
No, y'all were perfectly fine. If anyone's looking for merch, music, or Tenmo in general, where can they find it?
If you want merch, you will go through him most likely, but we have like forums on our Bandcamp. Everything on Bandcamp is like $1,000, so you don't buy it there, so we can subvert taxes. We have a Google form, because fuck the IRS. Everything else is in our link tree, which is in all of our bios. If you're on social media, you've probably seen us tweeting, possibly. Who knows? We don't tweet that much, of course. We're very coy about tweeting. Just kidding. We tweet like 18 times a day. It's me tweeting it.
we.
So,
I was gonna
yeah.
say we.
Yeah,
I'm tweeting like 18
really
times a day. It's really just me.
But I was like, if you're looking for stuff, honestly, reach out to one of
Yeah,
us. We're all on social.
Just DM us. I
Yeah.
will respond and be like, "Here's how you can find our shit." And also we have a Discord where we post all of our stuff early. You get cool announcements, leaks, etc. Feel free to jump in there. It's like totally free. It doesn't cost anything, and we are very good about banning bots as soon as you jump in there. So no hacked accounts, none of that. I know that there's been like a virus on Twitter getting people in the DMs. But if we DM you with like what seems like a copy paste link, that's just to pre-save the EP. So don't block us for that. That's just me doing a bit. So please don't block us for that. It's just me doing a bit.
You heard it there. Don't block them. Or send them a money request. See what happens first. Who knows? Well, everyone be sure to go listen to the new EP. Follow Tenmo if you haven't already. One last big thank you to the three of you for taking the time out of your Monday to sit down with me and talk about your band.
Of course,
Yeah,
thank you. We appreciate you.
Of course. This is a great time. Everyone get those numbers up. Go to, I don't want to butcher it. Sorry, I'm fucking this up. I don't know why I moved my thing. It was already right in view. Anyways, everyone go to Bummer Summer 3 if you're in the Chicagoland area on July 3rd.
Yes.
And, see that stacked ass lineup. And
we'll do so much more. It'll be awesome.
Well, do it. Report back to me, people, on your thoughts on the award if you haven't already.
Let them know how great it is.
Yeah, go do the Chicago Handshake. And then be ready for that episode with Onion, because we talk about some other new Chicago Handshake stuff that you can do. It's in the future.
I'm stoked.
It's there.
I'm gonna make Mike to come out and teach us about new Chicago
He's
handshakes.
There's two good ones. One is slightly dangerous. The other one should be a good time.
I'm in for both.
Yeah, it'll be wild either way. But thank you to Tenmo. I'll catch everyone on the next episode.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See ya.
Take care.
I appreciate you.
Beers with Bears.